Good evening and welcome back to Simply Green Radio here on News Radio 1180 WHAM. Brendan over in studio with you on this Sunday evening. This is Simply Green Radio, brought to you by Simply Green Energy and Mr. Reuter Plumbing. And I want to remind folks, I apologize, I wanting to throw out a website out there all night long. There are a lot of great information being given out tonight. And if there's something that folks here tonight you'd like to learn more, or something that one of our guests has, one of our experts has spoken about tonight, mysimplygreenenergy.com. Again, that website, mysimplygreenenergy.com. And we are again in studio tonight with Mo from Pete Morici, True Story Pete, and also with Maurice Aubry, and also with Brenna Hartmann, and in studio with Brian Ludwig and Bill Colby from Pace Energy Solution and Services. And they are walking us through a home energy audit, and they're doing a very good job of doing that. And we do want to welcome into the phone lines right now. We'll welcome in Carol. Carol, welcome to Ask the Experts.
Hi. Okay. Who should I talk to first? Does it make a difference?
You can talk to anybody you like. We'll have anybody field your question.
Hi, Carol. What's your question?
Hi, Aubrey. My question is there such a thing as having a home too tight?
Why don't you go ahead and take that, Bill?
It's Carol. How are you? It's Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Yes, you can have a home too tight. What we do, when we do our audit, is we monitor the building airflow, and there is a standard. If we were to take your house down to 70% of the building airflow standard or below, you'd actually have to bring makeup air back in to keep a good breathing environment.
Okay. Now, what makes a house too tight? Is it too much insulation in the upper, like in the attic, or in the sidewalls, or
no? The insulation won't do it. It's basically the construction of the home. It's the way the home was constructed and sealed real well as it was built.
Okay, we have a very, very old home. We live on Lake Ontario in Orleans County. Cuckville is the name of the area, Waterport area.
Okay. And
it was inherited. My husband inherited it. It was built around 1920s, and it's a cottage area. So when we moved in, we put new siding in. We put blown-in insulation. We put tie wrap.
Yeah.
We put insulation up on the attic.
So, Carol, are you worried that your home might be too tight? I mean, do you have some issues with indoor air quality and allergies or things like that?
How could we tell if it is too tight?
Oh, we should get tested, shouldn't we? Should we get this house tested?
Yeah, Carol. That's the best way is to actually have an audit done, because realistically you've had all this work done, and now you really need to have that standard measured. I mean, it looks like you guys have taken the time to work on your house and try to improve it. But I guess I would go back to the same question. What is it? It sounds like there's something that you think is happening that you might think your home is too tight. What conditions? What things are going on where you're curious?
The house. Okay. The house, when we have a furnace, we have a basement. A lot of the places around here don't have basements, but we were one of the lucky ones to have a basement. So we have a furnace, propane, and also we burn wood. But it doesn't seem to be warm enough, and we cannot understand why. We put brand new windows in, except for one in the basement that we have to do. But the house doesn't seem to be warm enough.
Okay. Well, if your house isn't warm enough and you've had all this going on, realistically, it's not too tight.
No.
You have the exact opposite, because your home isn't holding that heat. So what you really, your next step would really be to get a measurement, because what's happening is you've got some conditions here. You think you've diagnosed your home's problem, and because you didn't go to the doctor, you kind of did some things to change it. So really, what you kind of want to do now is you'd be the perfect candidate for that home energy audit.
Carol, that's a good call from Carol, and hopefully she's listening off air now, because we want to get to some other callers. But go ahead and make your point, Brenna.
Well, I was just going to say, if she was still on, maybe we could have have Bill or Brian give her a call. But
Okay.
she's welcome to call back if she wants, or go ahead and give her your number, and she can give you a call right tomorrow.
Yeah, Carol, if you're out there listening, the number is 888-924-9276, and that's Pace Energy. Give us a call, and we can definitely tell you what would be next for you to get that problem fixed.
And thanks so much for calling in. We've got to get to this money issue. We've all been waiting. We have
you want to touch base on that real quick, because we do have one more caller on hold, but I'll let you talk about that real quick.
Yeah, Brian, talk to me about the money. Show me the green.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, the anticipation has been building. We've been talking about this, so everybody out there is probably thinking, "Holy cow!" Just to even get these guys to come, anybody to come to the house has got to be $10 million.
Yes.
Right. Well, we talked about it. Okay.
It's scary.
The audit itself, it does have a $700 value to it. Okay, and it's 6 hours in the home. I mean, we're doing a lot of complete. To diagnose your home, there's a lot to it.
and fancy equipment.
Well, can any contractor do this, or
Right.
is that why you're certified? I mean, what's the difference here?
No, that's why you have that BPI standard that any contractor who wants to even think about getting people money from New York State or even dealing with all these health and safety issues, you got to have that BPI certification accreditation. You got to meet all those standards, or New York State won't even let you talk about the program.
So my Uncle Jed couldn't just come over and do this for me.
No, Uncle Jed, no, and truck
Unless
in the truck, no.
Unless he's got his BPI certification.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Just clarifying.
Right, but once again, I mean, let's talk about a few things, okay? Realistically, people are saying, okay, so we got to get this done. Well, New York State has a program, and it's coming from this green jobs funding we were talking about. Okay, right now, and that's talking that most of the counties, Monroe, Ontario, some of the local, area counties. Right now, if your maximum household income for everybody in the house is $133,000 or less, guess what? New York State's gonna help pay for your audit.
That's great.
Yeah, and depending on your qualification, they may very well pay for the whole audit.
So that's just about 99% of New York State residents.
Well, yeah,
It's covering just about that.
That's good.
and so think about it. Now, first step is to get the audit. Guess what? New York's pitching in there.
Right.
Okay, so now they're gonna help you get that. So now you got the roadmap. Come in, we do the audit. Now we tell you what you need. Now you're saying, okay, well, great, you got me that. Now how do I pay for it? Well, a lot of options. Okay, if you have scrolled
Options
away,
are good. Options are good.
If you have scrolled away your nuts and you have some cash that you want to put toward it, and you're really thinking about it, then there are incentives. And New York State has an incentive where they will actually give you 10% back of the qualified measures. Okay, and there's a whole list of qualified measures that we would go over with you, and they'll give you up to $3,000 back. So up to spending up to $30,000 on your home, they'll give you 10% back.
Wow.
222-1180, the number to call. Again, that number 222-1180. We do have a caller on hold that we're going to try and get to after the break. So we're going to ask you, Jim, please be patient, but we do need to cut away for a quick break. This is Simply Green Radio, brought to you by Simply Green Energy and Mr. Rooter Plumbing here on News Radio 1180 WHAM.